Hi, welcome to the small shed and welcome back. I've been away for 2 weeks. Week before that was all the Austin 7 stuff, so it's actually probably nearly a month since I've been in here. So let's see if we can't find something to do. See you in a minute. So first off, I've got to put away some of the camera stuff I took with me, batteries and things. I need to get some new batteries, I think, for the GoPro, because a couple of them won't last more than a couple of minutes, and it's a job to know which ones are the bad ones, if you like. Took a charger with me that I used once or twice. The one thing I took with me that was very useful, that I've never played with before, was the clear plastic housing for the GoPro, the waterproof one, and that was brilliant for taking pictures and stuff with the grandchildren in the pool. Need to clean the cameras up a bit, they're getting a bit scabby at the moment, but that's something we can get on with another day. I've got a couple of packages which I'm going to have a quick look and see what I've got and see where we go with it from there. This is one of these Chinese things that's been on order for that long, I've forgotten what it is. I'm sure at the time it made sense, but I'm not sure what it is or where it's come from. I know what the other one is. Right, so I've got two router bits. Yes, I do remember what they're for now. I've got some slats that I'm putting on the cycle cart on the bonnet, which will be curved, and I've got sort of the equivalent of a tongue and groove type pair of router bits, but instead of having a square tongue and like a square dado trench, whatever you call it, these are rounded, and what it should do is enable you to put together two pieces of wood with like a tongue and groove joint, but they'll be able to move like that, so that you can put them in on the curve. So I will have a play with those in a minute and we'll see what they look like in action. So that's the first thing. And the second one, I know what it is, because I was getting loads of messages from the post office telling me they couldn't deliver it, and then they said they'd sent it to the local sorting office, and then they said it was available for collection there, and then last night when I got home my neighbour brought it round, so they've obviously managed to deliver it to him. This is the stuff for the Scary Sharp sharpening system that I want to have a go at and see what the difference is, if you like. And again, this is probably something for another day. It's relatively cheap in that it's basically sheets of wet and dry type paper, but it does mean I've got to sort something out to put them on and find a place to put them when I've done them. But it's 3M paper with a self-adhesive backing, which is a trial pack I've got from Woodworkers Workshop, which is Peter Sefton School of Furniture Making, I think, which is close by where I live. And what is in there effectively are just sheets of various grits of wet and dry type paper. I think it's a bit stronger than that. 180, 360, 800, 1500. Now that's pretty much where you'd probably be going with the sharpening stones. They run from about 600 up to 1200. So that's probably as far as I've been taking stuff in the past. These, however, go on to 2000, and indeed I believe you can get an 8000 as well. If it isn't in here, I'm not sure. Oh, I see. Yes, the set. Oh no, this is it. This is the 1800, I think. Wow, if it is, it's just smooth. Yeah, that's the one. 3 microns. It's almost like, I suppose, like your strop. So that's the 8000. Yeah, 2000, 1500, 800, 360. Yeah, that's it. And starting at 180. Now they need to be put onto something flat. The aim is to cut these into 3 pieces, I think, so that you can use one and then throw it away when you've used it up. So effectively that's giving me the whole system for 27 pounds, something like that. So it's about £9 effectively per set of stuff if I'm going to cut them into 3. So I'm going to go and get some Perspex. I think they were using polycarbonate, which I was on the Sefton stand, which I was surprised because I would have thought it would have pressed in and distorted when you came to sharpening on it, but I suppose you're not pressing down very hard. But I'm going to do what they do and see how it goes, so that's perhaps one for another day. We'll just check out these router bits first, I think. Right, so I think you probably can see the problem here, that if you start to put these pieces of wood on a curved surface, you open up quite a big gap, and that's something you can either get rid of by planing a bit off each angle, or we can try it with this this special bit. The advantage of this is that it should be a little bit more easy to maneuver various angles, whereas if you're doing it with planing a piece off, you've got to get the right angle to start with. So I'm just going to run I've got the cutter in for the groove. I'm just going to run the timber through that, and then we'll have a look and see what the other cutter looks like and see how that works. Right, so you probably can't see it that well, but there is now a half round in that depression in there. So we'll swap out the cutter and see how we get on with the other one, which should leave me a corresponding rounded off corner. Switch the machine off, which you have to do to get the cutter out. Wind it back down again. At which point we can switch it back on. Right. Let us see how that performs. Right, now it's not perfect because passing it through twice, I hadn't realised it just pushes it in further and gives you a slightly uneven line, so I'll have to be a bit more careful when I do the proper ones. But you can see now that those go together, and as they do, if you curve them, you just basically get a very slight gap that you can sand down much more easily, and you can get a much better joint than you do by putting them that way round. So that's the principle. I'm hopefully going to use these on the bonnet of the Austin 7 replica, I think, but I think they'll be useful just generally in doing this sort of thing on any sort of curved surface, so quite happy with that. They're quite nice little cutters. Right, so that's the cutters. I think they'll prove useful in the future. It's one of those things, I think, until you've got them and start using them, you will then find uses for them that you hadn't thought about before. So hopefully we'll find projects for them to be used on, and we'll do something with the Scary Sharp system in the next few weeks, I'm sure. So I hope the video was of interest. Look forward to seeing you next week when we'll be doing something different. See you then. Bye.